Good morning. What I'm going to do today is I'm going to show you how we take a new wok. This one happens to be by Craft Wok. It's an excellent company out in New York. These woks are made in China, and they're wrapped in plastic when you get them. And the reason being is they have an oil coating on them to keep any rust away during the shipping process. What I'm going to use today to clean this is I'm going to use some Dawn. You could probably use anything else you want as far as detergent. And this is the only time that I'm ever going to use soap on this wok. Once it's seasoned, we never use soap on it. And the second thing is I'm going to use some SOS. These pads or similar pads if you can get them. But I'm going to try it with the SOS. So we're going to start cleaning this, and I'm going to wash it down, and then we're going to, on both sides, inside and out, and then we're going to dry it on top of the stove just to make sure all the water is off of it, and then we'll take you to step 2, the actual seasoning process. What I'm doing now is I just put some Dawn soap in here with some hot water, and I'm scrubbing it with this SOS pad and trying to get all the soap off, or the oil off. It's important that we get all the oil off before we even start to season it, or the seasoning won't take good hold on it. So I'll just keep scrubbing and scrubbing until I get all this off here. I'll make sure I scrub both sides of it. Kind of noisy, but I'll run some more hot water over it, and I'll be back in a couple minutes. This happens to be a 16-inch wok, by the way. So let me turn this over. Well, I gave this wok its first washing, and now we're going to give it a second washing. And use my roll pad here again, and see if we can get all this shipping oil off of it. And it feels like it. This is a hand-hammered wok. It looks like it's filling the whole sink up, and it is because it's a 16-inch wok. The standard wok is usually a 14-inch, but I got the 16-inch. It's a very nice wok. All carbon steel. And this is, because it has the 2 handles, this is a Cantonese style wok. So I'll be back when we finish washing this. While you were gone, what I did is I secured one of these sponges with a little rough on the side on it to help me wash it. And I can feel that almost all of the oil has been washed off. I'm going to turn it over now and do the other side. And I'm going to put it in the sink and do the same thing on this side. Kind of noisy in the sink. Now we're going to do the more abrasive side. Okay, that's about it. And we can start washing this off now. We're going to dry it on the top of the stove. And then I'm going to preheat my oven to 450 degrees. And we're going to coat the wok with a very thin coating of oil. What kind of oil? Oh, well, you could use grapeseed oil. Peanut oil is really good. I use a lot of peanut oil when I use for cooking because it's a high flash point. So, okay, that looks good for right now. Let me turn this off and we'll be back in a minute. Well, I've got my wok in the oven. What I did is I took a piece of tin foil of a good size, and I cut it off. And this is going to go on the bottom of the oven, under the top rack, and the top rack was moved down about that far, and I'll show you in a minute. But what this will do is, the way I heat this wok will be upside down, and it'll catch any dripping from the oil that falls down, just to keep the oven clean. So I'll be back in a minute. Right now you can see that I have the wok on top of the burner. I have it on a low heat, about a medium heat, and it's already starting to turn a little bit brown. That's fine. But the reason I'm doing this, I want to make sure all the water is off before I coat it with oil. So the next step now is I'm going to take a paper towel. I'm going to show you that process where I coat it with a real light coat of oil. Then we're going to tip it upside down and then place it in the oven. And let's see here, I'm going to give you a picture here of the oven here in a second so you can see what the setup looks like inside the oven. Sorry if it's a little shaky, but what I did is I removed the camera from the tripod. This is the oven that I've got set up, and you can see I've got the tin foil on the lower rack, and then it's the upper rack is about 2 inches away from the lower one, and I already checked in advance that the wok will fit in there. By the way, this is a setting that I have just to preheat the oven at 4. This is a gas stove, and you can already see it's starting to turn a little bit brown in the center, and that's fine, okay? So we're going to turn this off now because I'm sure it's all dry, and we're going to coat it with oil the next step. So hang loose, we'll be right back. Alright, I got my oven preheated to 450 degrees, and once it gets preheated, we're going to time the wok in the oven for 20 minutes, and then let it cool and take it out and repeat that step 3 different times. So I got some grapeseed oil, that's all I have right now, and we're going to put the oil in here, and then I'm going to take a paper towel and just put it in very lightly and try to coat this without burning myself. Real light coat all over. And this wok will turn a nice golden brown, it should, when I get done. I'm going to do the handles. And I probably should have done the handles after I turned it over, but anyway. Okay, we're going to turn it over now. Then we're going to do the back side of it. Just a real thin coating. Okay. There are 3 different main ways of seasoning a carbon steel wok. This is just one of them. I'll turn it over. And we'll just put nice, you want thin coats on this. And I'll show you why in a little bit. Okay, along the edges. And you can see the hammer marks in here. This is a hand-hammered Chinese carbon steel wok. Excellent, excellent wok. Okay, we're going to leave that set there until my oven gets to temperature 450 degrees. And then we'll put it in the oven, and then we'll show you what happens when we get it out. Okay, my oven has reached 450 degrees, and I got the timer set for 20 minutes. And now I got my mittens on this time. I'm going to turn it upside down and place it right in there, just like that. And I'm going to leave it for 20 minutes, and we'll see what happens when we get it out. It should be a nice golden brown in color, but we'll see. Okay, so stay tuned. Okay, my timer just went off, so we're going to open the oven and see what our cake looks like. And we take the wok out. Okay, it's nice and brown on that side, like this here. Now we're going to let this cool a little bit. Put it on top of the oven. I'm going to close this up, but I'm not going to turn the heat down because it takes too long to preheat it. But if you take a look at the wok right now, it's nice. Oh, there's my timer. Let me shut that off. You can see it's turning a nice brown color. Don't worry about this here. It'll all look like that hopefully when we get done. So I'm going to let it cool, and then we're going to do another application, and I'll show you that application. We're going to do it 2 more times. Before I set the wok on my cooling area, I wanted to show you the color of it. It's really turning a beautiful golden brown color, and this is exactly what you want. And when you make sure that when you coat the pan with a light coating oil, you also coat the handles here. This thing just came out of the oven, so it's really hot. I probably could fry eggs in it right now, but I'm going to move it in a second here over to my area that I cool it and show you that. This is where I'm cooling my wok. I want it to cool naturally because I want the metal pores to slowly close. So Actually, what I did is I put it in the sink, and I just kind of let it hang there. It takes about 15 minutes. It'll cool down. Then at that point, what I'll do is I'll give another coating of oil, and we'll bake it for the last time. All right. This is the third and the final application of baking it in the oven, and you can see how beautiful this is, the brown shiny color. This is the way it should look. Okay. Now I'll turn it over. This is the back side. As we use this wok now, it'll get darker. It might even get black, but that means the seasoning is going to only get better and better and better. Now I'm going to let this cool a little bit. This is beautiful. I just love the brown color on this. It's gorgeous. So this is the way your wok should look when you season it correctly. This is done in the oven.